Good morning, everybody. Day 2, here we go. It may not look like snowboarding weather, but I know it's gonna get better. We just gotta get to this dumping rain. Good morning, everybody. The sun is finally starting to peek through. I've been driving in pouring rain for an hour and a half, but it's looking like the sun is gonna come out. It's gonna be a partly cloudy day, super soft snow with rain, plus it's like 45 degrees. I think the high is supposed to get into the mid-50s, so should be a super slushy, spring-like condition day, and I am so pumped. Day 2 on the snowboard for the 2024-2025 snowboard season. Today, if you saw my first video, I filmed everything on the Insta360 X4, ran it through different shooting modes, different settings, played around with it, various things like that. Today, we are shooting everything on the Insta360 Go 3S. Now, the Insta360 Go 3S is, I call it my favorite non-action camera, because not only is it like, it's super small, super versatile. I use it for like all sorts of daily things or like family activities where it's small. You can put it on, like, there's the hat mount, there's the necklace pendant mount, a lot of different fun things. It's easy, compact. You can use it for so many things, but it is still an action camera, although they don't specifically market it as that. They market the Insta360 Go 3S more as like a vlog style camera, but I use it mountain biking, and it's honestly one of my favorite mountain bike cameras that I run, because you can actually pop the camera out of the action pod. And so you've got it in the action pod, it's like the size and weight of a GoPro, but if you pop it out, you just have this tiny little like bean. And I love mountain biking with it on my helmet camera, or especially on my chest camera, because where the camera has no weight to it, you don't get that weight or wobble that you do with a lot of other cameras, just where it does have a little bit more weight kind of bouncing around as you're doing whatever action sport you know that it is that you're out there doing. So I've never really snowboarded with the Go 3 a whole lot. I did once or twice when we were in Solitude. I popped it out on like a sunny day just for some quick clips, just to kind of test it out. But I want to run a full day using just the Go 3S, because the Go 3S has taken my favorite action camera, or took my favorite variation of the Insta360 Go series, which was the Go 3, and made it even better, giving it full 4K video, wider field of view. And I've been using it all summer long for various things, and I want to see what it can do snowboarding, because I feel like there's a lot of potential here. There's also the really cool mount that I'd seen on Instagram. I played around with it last week, where you actually pop it inside your goggles and you can see literally through your goggle lens, but you're getting that helmet cam POV style shot. So really, really cool. I'm excited to play around with it, play with some different settings, some different mounts, and kind of see what we come up with. So got like 20 more minutes to go. I'm hoping that with all the rain that was forecasted, that it kind of mitigate some of that crowd, keep it nice and not crowded, so we can just get hot laps and get out there and get after it. So got the Gilson Dual in the back again, day 2. Tweak my stance a little bit more. I want to be able to butter this thing from top to bottom, and I truly think this is the board that I'm going to be able to pull it off on. So I'm going to get to the slopes, get stretched out, get suited up, so ready to get snowboarding. Let's go. You know it's a cloudy, rainy day when the lights are still on and it's 9 in the morning. It started raining again, so we're gonna get wet. So far, there is like nobody here. Hoping it stays that way, fingers crossed, so I can just get in non-stop laps. The only thing I have to worry about with the Go 3S is, so the camera itself, the little bean piece, is waterproof. That camera is completely waterproof. However, the action pod is not. The action pod is only splash resistant. So if it's still raining, I'm going to have to run just the little camera. Hopefully I can get it in and out of the action pod without getting any water on the action pod. I've seen where people have snowboarded with the Go 3S before, and I know it can take a little bit. I just worry about moisture getting in behind the camera, because then that's going to malfunction my action pod. So that is the only downside to this camera, is you got to be careful. It is, like I said, the action pod is splash resistant, but the little camera itself is fully waterproof and submersible, so you do have to be careful with that. Like if it was a fresh snowing like powder day, I would stick with just a little bean and try to do my absolute best to keep the action pod out of the elements. But today it's just misting right now. I'm hoping the rain clears up, because it's will be a bit of a dreary day to test this camera out. I was really pumped today to run these new Outdoor Master Ultras. I got the new Zeiss lens, and this colorway looks super sick. And I was hoping there was gonna be enough like red, yellow in it, that even though it's got this flat light and kind of a low light day, I'd be able to make it work. Unfortunately, we gotta switch to low light lens. These look sick, but I'm gonna need a bit more visibility. It is Gray, dreary, and cloudy. But we're snowboarding slush. I'm pumped. All right. I have this whole run to myself. This is awesome. On this board, you can literally hold this as long as you want. Getting the legs warmed up. Feeling good. This perfect back foot angle. I can't figure out what I want. Running the head cam, like I said, you can also pop this out and just mount this up here as well. I did bring an adapter if I decide to do that. I might try to do it vertically just to see how the different like camera perspective changes the shot. First lap, I had the mic in the complete wrong audio settings, so the audio is probably gonna be trash. So we're gonna do it again. This one's gonna be better. The butter is 6 in the back, the magic number after all. I could just, this is comfortable. All right, the next setup. I'm gonna try just running the camera by itself. If I did this again, I'd definitely put this on top, but doing it real fast on the lift, I got it in there and I said, set it, forget it. All right, so unfortunately what I did realize with this, it works excellent for shooting vertical video that you would post to social media like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. However, for horizontal video, this angle just doesn't work. With the camera mounted like this, when you try to switch it into horizontal video, the perspective is just too wide. You can't see the snowboard enough. You either see too much snowboard, too much sky. You can't get that perfect middle ground. So for social media shooting, this is awesome, and it's actually really comfortable to run it like this. For horizontal video, you definitely want to mount that camera sideways, either in the action pod or with the camera by itself. did try to run the goggle mounted shot again. Unfortunately with this goggles, they were a little bit too big for the camera, so I can never get it to stay perfectly in place. And when I did, it just didn't sit quite right to get that perfect shot again. So it does work, but not with every pair of goggles. Decided to finish the day off running the head cam setup again. This is just my favorite and most used way to run the Insta360 cameras. It allows me to be hands-free and get that perfect POV perspective every time. I did want to clarify, the main reason I turned the filters on in the Insta360 Studio app, especially in this footage, is because it was such a gray and dreary day. I was just trying to bring some of that color back. I definitely think I can tweak these camera settings to really optimize it in snow performance, but I've never used it in snow, so that's why I did list all the settings that I was running. I also like adding on the ND motion blur effect because it does just give you that sense of speed that you're actually going, because with camera stability today, it almost makes it look like you're going slower than you actually are. So adding that ND motion blur effect on gives you the same as if you were running an ND filter on your camera lens, and it really gives you the sense of speed and just allows people to see how fast you're actually going. Overall, this is just a super fun camera to shoot with. It's easy to use. The flip up screen makes it easy to vlog, talk with, make sure you're getting the perfect shot. Then you can remove the camera from the action pod. You can shoot it in the action pod, so it's like shooting with a GoPro or a tiny camera. There's so much versatility with this camera. It's super compact and it's just a joy to use all day long. If you are interested in picking this camera up, definitely use my link. You're going to get 10% off right now and some free bonus gifts with the purchase of this camera. I definitely plan on using this camera more and fully tweaking these settings to get this perfectly dialed in. I hope you all found this video helpful. If you have any questions about this camera or any Insta360 camera, hit me down in the comments below.